Please subscribe to our channel on Apple Podcasts, Immigrantly Uninterrupted. You can subscribe for as little as $34.99 for the entire year or $3.99 a month. And yes, you will get ad-free episodes. But honestly, this isn't really about skipping ads. It's about supporting independent media and conversations that don't always have a neat little box to live in. The kind of conversations where we talk about life, identity, culture, dating, relationships, all the messy, but real stuff. So think of it like this. If you've ever listened to an episode of Lovely while you're on a walk, you're in the car, or maybe even after a bad date thinking, okay, wow, I really needed to hear that. This is how you help keep those conversations going. So if Lovely has ever made you feel seen, challenged your thinking, or expanded the narrative around all those things, subscribing is one way you can support the show. If you enjoy the conversations we're having, subscribe to Immigrantly Uninterrupted and help us keep building this on our terms. And once you do, send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to know.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
Hello, and welcome back to Lovely. This is your host, Mehak. And if you're just joining us, hi, welcome. I love that you're here. This week, we are getting into part 2 with Clayton Echard's episode. However, I am going to gently insist you go listen to part 1 first if you haven't. Not because you'll be confused, but because this conversation just hits very differently when you understand what Clayton has actually been through. And for everyone who has been waiting, okay, we're back with part 2, and this is where it gets even more interesting. So just a quick recap. Part 1 was about how Clayton got here, his upbringing, the validation seeking, and honestly, one of the most public and unfair situations someone can go through. And then part 2 is about what happens after that. Because going through something like that, it kind of takes a lot away from you, and there's not much of a PR version of yourself left to hide behind. The internet already did a full autopsy on that. So at some point, you either keep performing or you actually look at yourself, right? And I think Clayton actually looked and he did the work. So in this part, we're moving away from the legal story and into something I didn't expect it to be this layered, how his inner life is feeling right now, what his journey and relationship is with dating and healing and what he's unlearning and what he's still figuring out. I think in the episode, Clayton also mentioned that as women, we have a strong intuition and we can tell when someone is bullshitting and when someone is actually saying the things because they've done the work. And we are, let me tell you that. And I can tell when someone is just saying the right things because they're trying to fix their image versus when someone actually means it. And I think what stood out to me is that Clayton doesn't feel like he's trying to rebrand. If anything, I feel like he's someone that has finally stopped performing. So I hope you enjoy part 2. Are you currently single?
Yes.
Are you single and ready to mingle? Are you trying to date? What's your approach to dating right now?
I'm open to dating, but I'm not actively searching. I have been working through living my life for myself and really cutting all ties of seeking validation from women, because that ran really deep for me. When I got to a point at which I became attractive in the eyes of women again and not friend zoned, I was using a lot of the more women that validated me or that were intimate with me, that gave me more worth. I was like, okay, if a woman's going to be intimate with me, that means that she sees value in me. And so that was a really kind of a negative like connection I had built with women where I just started seeking validation through intimacy. And so right now, I've kind of went rogue. I've cut off the dating apps. I'm not actively talking to any women. And I'm like, I have to do this because I'm rewiring my brain to like not seek validation. I mean, it's really interesting because I'll share like a real story that's happened in real time. I've been going to the gym like I could go all the time. But when I was in the dating apps, I was getting validated like every day. I'd get like 20, 30 matches and I'd have conversations constantly going. So it was just like I was getting validation like all the time. Well, since I cut that off, I'm not getting that validation. So I've noticed while I'm at the gym, like I see an attractive girl or multiple women at the gym, and I'm like, they're not looking at me. They're just locked into their zone. Maybe they don't think I'm attractive. Like they just don't even notice me. And I'm like, why don't they notice me? Am I not their type? What is it? And it's like I have these thoughts racing through my head. I'm at the gym and I'm just like, what is going on? Why am I paying extra attention like to this? Like I'm like looking around, being like, is she looking at me? Is she looking at me? And it's because I realized like I'm not getting that validation off the dating apps like I typically do, or even on DMs if I'm sliding in DMs, because I'm not doing it right now. And I was like, okay, my brain's searching now for validation in other ways. And so I realized that I was like, Clayton, you still have this problem that you need to like cut through. Like you shouldn't be looking around. This shouldn't even be a thought in your head. You should just be in the gym working out. Just like if you see someone attractive, you want to go talk to her, go talk to her. Other than that, like maybe just be like, oh, she's attractive, back to working out, right? Like don't start creating this whole narrative of like, I wonder if she's not looking at me because she thinks like I'm ugly or what, like, or whatever the narrative in the head, is. So um, I'm taking this time to like just cut out that. If the right woman comes around, it's the right feeling. I'm like, yeah, then I'll bring her in. But I'm like, in the meantime, like, let me continue to heal this part of me so that I'm not seeking validation from women. Like, I'm just being me because I shouldn't be seeking validation from anybody. It's like, I should just be showing up as my best self and then be as I am. And that will attract what's meant for me. So that's where I'm at currently. I've, for the sake of my own mental health, I'm like, let me just like cut down all this stuff and see like what's at the root of the problem.
I can relate to that because I think I had to really learn what it meant to be authentic as well and not seek that validation from someone else. Because I think when I was growing up, I was constantly seeking validation from people that I went to school with because I was a minority in school too. Like I was raised in Houston, Texas. We were in an area where I was the only brown girl in my middle school. There was only one other white person, and then it was all Hispanics and Black people. So again, seeking that validation of like, am I fitting in? Am I good enough? Boys weren't liking me like how I wanted them to like me. So then continue to like find that in dating. I had to kind of take a step back. Authenticity for me is like consistency. Am I the same person in how I'm showing up and how I communicate and how I follow through? And that also led me to believe, well, if that's the reason, then I also value stability. So I also think like that's all tied into your own self awareness. And once you can't be stable with yourself and be the same person and show up that way in like any situation, whether I'm talking to a man at the gym or I'm talking to someone else, just because I think you're not seeking for that validation, like you're good on your own, right? So I think that's kind of like the destination point that you have to get to, and if you need to like take an active break from dating, I think that's healthy too.
For the first time, it's like I realized, like, hey, I don't need to like go chase after women and for validation and like through intimacy. So like I've actually been getting really validated recently by like meeting women, but just like almost not that they like friend. I'm just gonna use the word friend zoning, like, but just basically showing them right out the gate that I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to be anything other than just like a friend to you because I don't really have girlfriends. Like I didn't have girlfriends because it was like any girl that I was talking to that I was attracted to, I was like, well, yes, I'd like to like be intimate with you. And so now for me, it's new to like now just like have women in my life where it's like, hey, I'm not trying, like you're attractive, but like women are perceptive. Women are very intuitive. They know when a guy like walks up to them and what their motives are. It's like, oh no, I just think you're attractive. I'd like to take you out to dinner. You're like, shut up. You're just trying to sleep with me. Like guys, play their tactics. Like, and I've played them, so I know what they are. And it's like, to go up to a woman now and just be like, hey, how you doing? Like, especially with dance. And it's like, we're dancing. And this is new to me too. Like, I grew up in a household where like it wasn't very touchy. Like we weren't very touchy as a family. Like we weren't very physical with each other. It was like a household of boys. And so, like now I'm dancing and I'm like putting my hands on a person I just met. I'm like, is this weird? Like, and when you dance salsa, you make eye contact. And I'm like, I only make eye contact usually like with intimacy. Like, this is like, is this weird? So like my brain is getting all spun out. And I'm like, what's happening? But it's so refreshing to be able to like dance with a woman that I just met and it just be simply like super amicable. Like, let's just dance. It's like, I can feel it. The woman's like, he's not looking at me with these eyes of like, I'm trying to put you in bed. He's just like looking at me as a person. And that's been really refreshing to have that. Like, that I can feel that energy from women now. So like, it's been super rewarding. It's just a constant evolution and a process and like just putting out what you are. But women are super intuitive. Like men think that they can trick women with their games. And it's just like, these girls have seen this 100 times over. But playing games is what boys do. So it's like, for me, I was playing games a lot of my life. And so I'm like, I need to like stop playing games. Like if I want a real woman, I got to be a real man. And like real men don't play games. And I think that's where like transparency also has been huge for me. I'm like, be honest. Like if your motives, it's not like I had to not be intimate with a woman, but like if that's all I want, then I need to tell her up front. Straight up tell like, this is, hey, like I'm not looking for anything serious with you. I just want this. And if you're cool with that, awesome. If you're not, like, no worries. I just don't want to waste your time. And I've been doing that. And like, it's just really great. Of course, there's some women like, hey, thanks, but I have no interest. That's just the way it's going to be. But, that's the way it should be.
We've talked about validation a lot. We need to call it out. Like, we're never going to get to a point in our lives where we're going to 100% let go of wanting that validation, because I think it's such a human part of like this thing in our brain that lights up when you see someone that you're attracted to. But I guess, like, what type of validation are you looking for now? Is it just someone to like, I feel like when you talk about growing up, you're even talking about your dating experience. I feel like people weren't like seeing you. Like, they actually weren't seeing you for who you were. So are you just wanting them to notice? What is that healthy validation point where you'll be content with?
That's another great question. So, oh, they don't see me for what I really am. Like, to me, that's a victim mindset. The reality is I wasn't giving them a chance to see who I was because I wasn't being who I really was. I was playing a character like, this is what I think you all want me to be. So it's like taking that accountability and saying, no, it's not that they don't see me. Why aren't they seeing me for what I am? It's like, well, because you're not putting out what you really are. So like, that's not their fault, right? Like, that's your fault. Like, you're basically saying, hey, I'm going to put out a fake image and you need to be able to see through this and realize that it's not actually me, and then validate me for what I really am internally. Like, that's playing mind games, right? So yeah, as a kid, like, I was basically putting out something I didn't really like, but something that I thought was acceptable. And that's what I attracted, people that like that version of me. But I was like, I don't like this version of me. The real version of me is something completely different. But I never gave people a chance to know what I was. So now I am. Like, now I'm at a point where I am putting out exactly what I am. I'm like, this is me. Like, and what I'm looking for now, ultimately, like, yeah, I want to have a life partner that I can grow with, that goes, I love him for like, I'm very goofy. Like, I don't take myself seriously. I'm very sarcastic. Like, that's at the center of what I am. I'm just like a goof. I like to just enjoy life and not take it seriously. And that's why I do my dancing and I do cameos and I'm screaming at the camera, and it's been validated. People love it. Like, I get a lot of cameo requests because they're like, this chaotic energy, we love this. I was like, great, this is what I actually am within. I have this like just bolt of energy where it's like all of a sudden like a dog that starts running around full speed. Like, I have that in me. I'm like, I gotta let it out, So, I am now. So I'm just looking for somebody that's going to, say, I love him for everything that he is. And, he's unique. Like, you don't see this in a guy, like he's one of one. And that's what I want to see in my partner too, right? I believe like I want a partner that I can look at her and be like, she's one of one. Like, you cannot recreate this. Like, she's found like as much self-love as possible. She lets out her quirks. She doesn't hide them. She's not just trying to be the hot girl. It's like, she's like, I can be hot and goofy and, have some weirdness to me. And like, that's what I want. So I'm like, I'm basically being a mirror, and I want a woman that wants to like grow and expand and not want a normal life. I want like a woman that wants to like be ambitious for 5-10 years, just keep growing with each other and like trying to take on the world and acquire resources and have a life that we can look at the end of it all and be like, hey, we showed up every single day and be a little bit better. I live by the motto, like, beat yesterday every day. So I'm like, I want a woman that also has that same mindset. Like, every day we wake up is another opportunity to better ourselves. I never want to be with someone is stagnant. Like if I find out someone's like, yeah, I'm at where I want to be and this is the life and I don't want to like grow at all, I'm like, that's the most unattractive thing to me. Complacency to me is very unattractive. And so I am looking for, what I am or what I believe myself to be, right? And either I find it or I don't. But I'm not rushing because I really believe that like what I'm looking for is rare. So I'm like, you're not going to find it tomorrow. Like if I kept being in relationships, it would probably tell me, it'd be a great indication that my expectations are low. Because if I keep like breaking up and finding a new girlfriend within a week, it's like what you're looking for must not be that hard to achieve if you can keep finding somebody every single like a week later after you break up with somebody. So I see these years of like singleness as not a bad thing. I'm like, look, like I believe I'm one in a billion. So like that means the woman I'm looking for is one in a billion. So like she's gonna show up maybe once every 5 years. And it's my job at that point to be the magnet. And hopefully we attract in that moment. And that's where I'm like, until then, I'm cool with just being single and bettering myself.
Being single is so fun. I don't know what people are talking about. Like, it's actually so fun. You get to do everything that you're doing, like, on your own terms. And I feel like, in terms of like a healthy relationship and the right relationship for you, like, you are just living your life. And then a person comes and like adds to it and is complementary. I don't know if you know who Esther Perel is, but she is a phenomenal psychologist, a sex therapist, and she was recently on a podcast. And the podcaster was asking her, what do you think is wrong with dating? And she said that it's this romantic consumerism. Like we are constantly searching for the perfect, but afraid to settle for the good, which really hit home. And another thing that she asked is like, what is like your ideal checklist for a partner? And this is the part that really stayed with me. And she said something along the lines of, do you put as much emphasis on a checklist of who you want to be versus who you want to find? It's like, if you're just living experiences and growing and evolving at your own pace, why can't you meet that other person that you're supposed to be with to also do the same thing? And I just feel like it's like that cultural shift, right? We've been so conditioned to be like, this is the litmus test. You need to have this, you need to have that. But it doesn't really always pan out that way. Just a quick question, Clayton. How would you now deal with lying in your future relationships or someone breaking your trust? Like, I feel like the magnitude of that would be a lot more now, right? Or do I have it wrong?
No, 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 you have it exactly right. I am a huge believer in radical honesty with the right people. So I do believe that like not everybody can handle the truth, but with the person that I want to end up with, I believe that like there's no conversation that we won't be able to have. So if I happen to get in a relationship and 2 weeks in, she lies about something that's just like minor. Well, I can give an exact example actually. I was talking to a girl and I already knew the red flags were there. I was smitten by her. She's this beautiful woman. And I was like, okay, like I kind of already knew some stories about her, but I was like, look, she's giving me attention and I just like, whatever. This doesn't have to be like the wife, future wife. Like, but this can be the girl that like I date right now. And she's interested in me. So da da da. So we get in to start talking and like all of a sudden 2 weeks in, I find out she blocked me on her stories.
Oh, she hid her stories from you. Why? Was that just mind games?
No, because come to find out, she was still talking to her ex. So she basically was like still posting stories, like going to dinner with him, but was blocked me off of it. And I had a friend one day was like, dude, she's always going to dinner with people. Like, are you? And I was like, what do you mean? And like, he's like, yeah, like right now she's went to lunch. And I was like, I go click on her page and I'm like, what do you mean there's no story up? And he's like, oh my gosh, dude, she's blocked you. And so I broke up, or broke up. We weren't technically dating, but we were like talking. And I was just like, hey, this can't continue. Cause like to me, we've only been talking for 2 weeks, like, but you're already lying to me. And it's just like, it's just unnecessary. Like, if you're going to lie to me about something small, you're going to lie to me about something big. Like, it's just, I really believe that like a lie is a lie. Like, oh, it's just a white lie. It's like, no, no, no. Like, again, you should be able to tell me the full truth. If you think it's going to hurt my feelings, again, you're also not respecting me and my ability to be able to handle that. Thing that comes to mind is like if a girl is turned off by something that I do, she's like, well, I'm just not going to tell him because I don't want to hurt his feelings. It's like, okay, but then I'll keep doing it. And it's only going to hurt us in the long run when I keep doing that behavior. And then it ends up putting a divide between us. So it's like, no, you should tell me. tell me like something that's bothering you because then we can address it. If I can't fix it, then we're not meant to be together. So I'm very much under just like the belief that like radical honesty is the way to go. And it's not for everybody, but like to the right person, I'm like, hey, you're going to know with Clayton, like that he's not going to hold things back. He's going to tell you exactly what's going on. So you're never going to be, if you're dating me, you're never going to wonder what's going on in my mind because you'll just be like, I can ask him. He literally will just like vomit it all out. And that's what I do. I talk a lot, but I'm like, hey, I don't see a problem with it. Like, if you want to know what's going on in my head, ask. I don't want to hide anything because to me, hiding anything is a weakness. I see it as like, and again, this is maybe just where my ego gets involved, but I'm like, a real like supreme human is able to live fully in their truth. So to me, the closer you get to the truth, the closer you are able to like always be honest, the better of a person you are. Like the more times that you're lying just basically shows that like you don't have self-love and self-respect. Because if I lie and I get caught in my lie, I'm only hurting myself because that person's going to come after me and yell at me and then tell people around me that like I'm a liar. And it's only going to long-term impact me. Or a guy that lies to a girl about his motives, she's going to go tell her friends, are going to tell their friends. And then before you know it, the guy's got a reputation all throughout town as a liar, right? So it's like, you might have got what you wanted in that moment, right? You told that girl you wanted to date just so you could sleep with her. You slept with her. You got that short-term validation. You got what you wanted. Long-term, she's going and telling the entire town you're a liar. It all comes back to get you anyways. Like time will always balance everything out. So ultimately, yeah, I'm like, look, you can't get hurt by the truth. Like you can't get karma from the truth, in my opinion, because it's just like, you're just being real. If someone doesn't like it, they don't like it right then and there, and they sever ties, and that's it. Like I've never met a woman that's like, I hate how honest he is. Like he sucks. Like you know what? Like he'll always tell you like he's too honest.
I feel like I agree with you. Like, if the foundation is already shaky, how are you supposed to build off of that? And I also feel like white lies are more dangerous than like bigger lies because, at least with the bigger lies, maybe you're trying to protect the other person from getting hurt, or you have some sort of moral back and forth that like you can't fully handle. But white lies is just giving pathological liar. And it's like, if you lied this easily about, oh, what kind of cereal you had, what else are you lying about? And I feel like there's no trust that way. And I also think that it reveals something bigger. Like, I think when people can be upfront and honest, they have the maturity to handle what the repercussions are. And also, I feel like when someone is being honest with you, even though it's not in their favor, like they genuinely care about you. And I want someone to care about me and be honest with me and say all those things. Maybe the old version of you would have brushed it under the rug because you were like, hey, I'm attracted to this girl. Like, I like her personality. Let's just keep it going. But now it just feels icky, I feel, because you know that you don't want to be chasing after that. So I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the final point to make on that is like when you start holding yourself to a higher standard, you start holding your future partner to a higher standard. So the sea of fish condenses rapidly. And it can almost sometimes your brain will trick you into thinking that like, hey, there's not a lot of people that want me. And it's like, no, a lot of people don't want you because of like what you are, but that's not a bad thing. It's because you hold expectations that they deep down realize they can't meet, or they can't understand why you are what you are. And you don't want to be with somebody that can't understand why you do the things that you do, because then it's going to be this constant like assumption game. Well, he's doing this for this reason. No, like I need someone that knows why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so the dating pool condenses rapidly. When I was less emotionally intelligent and when I was, more of a liar, like when my expectations were lower, the dating pool was larger. Like I had access to more people, right? More people that I was vibrating on the same frequency with. So it's like your brain tricks you into thinking more is better. It's like, no, more is not better. Like as you climb, your brain will trick you into thinking you're less attractive now to the masses. And it's like, that's actually probably somewhat true. You are less attractive, but it's not because you're less attractive. It's because your expectations are far greater than what they're able to meet. And so they don't even take the time to try to go after that, or they don't understand you. So again, you're this oddity and they just like, you repel them. But again, like ultimately you want that. You want to repel all the things that you're not so that it clears out space for the one fish. Like if there was a school of 1,000 fish in front of you, you're like, I don't know, there's 1,000 fish. But if you repel all of them and there's just one right in front of you, you're like, oh, you're still here, right? Like after all that, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm just repelling until hopefully there's just one fish staring at me that I'm like, oh, you're still here. And it's like, yeah, I've always been here, right? That's kind of like the romanticism that I have is like, one day I'm going to finally, cross paths with that other fish where like that girl is just like, I've just been watching you and I feel like finally we both gotten to a place. Like I've seen your growth, but I've also been growing. And like we've now met at this perfect time, right? Like right person, right time. I'm like, that's what I romanticize is that moment where like I just look at them and I'm like, you're the one. I can feel it. Like, and so that's what I hold on to. I'm like, I want that once in a lifetime kind of feeling. And so I also understand that like that doesn't just show up on your doorstep every day.
It takes time. And honestly, you know what's not helping these days is when you open up social media and everyone has a new relationship. And then you're looking at yourself and you're being like, well, my phone is dry. I'm not talking to anyone. And I like to call that you're overqualified. People aren't within your range because you just have this level of qualities that you're looking for and that person is not, you're not finding it. And it's not like from coming from ego. I just feel you're just overqualified right now. And, maybe you're still working on yourself to be prepared to meet that person, or that the person you're supposed to be with is currently going through that whole process right now. But I'm a lover girl too. So I totally get the fish in the sea thing, and it'll happen. I'm manifesting it for you. It will happen. Before I let you go, is there anything you want the people to remember about you or know about you? Any final words?
Just that I am a work in progress that is still working through a lot of beliefs, and just trying to understand like myself better and the world around me. So I would say that like I've become more bold with the things that I'm willing to state because I know at the root of what I'm saying is like I have a goodness to me and I have the right heart. And so if there's anything at any point that someone hears today and they get triggered by it, it's like, hey, understand that I'm doing the best with what I have. I've always been doing the best with what I've had. But if it triggers you, it's not me trying to attack anybody. It's more of like, hey, if it triggers you, maybe just reflect on like, why is this triggering me? Again, like I do read feedback online. So people that send me messages and say like, hey, constructively, there's a way to do it. You don't have to be like, hey, you piece of shit, I just listened to your podcast. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna tune that out because you just went out with an attack. But if someone's like, hey, I listened to your podcast, and when you said this part, like the way that it was perceived to me was this way, it's like, oh, okay, that's great feedback. I read that stuff online. Like I know what Clayton's getting at, but like I perceived it this way. And that's super helpful because it's like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that triggered you. Now I'm going to be more aware. I'm doing the best with what I have as the man that I am through all the experiences I've had. So understand that this isn't coming from a place of like aggression or a motive. Like my motive is just trying to understand. And so I feel like we had great conversations today. I really do. I enjoyed this.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro Cat Food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
And I believe like more of these conversations, especially in a dating environment where like I see all posts about men being like all women suck. And then I see the same post about women being like all men suck. And it's like, guys, let's point out the obvious. We think differently. We definitely like don't understand each other fully. So like, how about we sit down and start talking cordially and explaining like, why do you guys do this? Oh, well, we do this for this reason. Oh, well, we perceive that when you do it this way. Oh, we didn't know that. Well, this is how we meant it. Oh, okay, interesting. We assumed that you meant it this way, right? Like I've been having a lot of these thoughts recently. I was like, if we just sit down and talk through this, like I saw one last little story I'm gonna make. I just saw this video this morning. This girl was like, I'm so tired of guys just saying want to hang out. She's like, that's all I get out those messages. She's like, and like, what does that mean? And she goes through this like 2-minute video being like, does it mean this? Does it mean this? And I watched it and I was like, it just means the guy wants to sleep with you. He's just categorized you as a woman he wants to sleep with. That's it. He's not man enough to tell you. He's trying to play coy and be like, let's just hang out. And then he's going to tell you to come over to his house and likely. And he's just testing the waters. He's seeing if he's categorized you and he's seeing if he can put you in that category and if you're going to stay there, if you're going to accept it. And so she went through this whole thing and I was like, you're onto it, but like you're just overthinking it. It's just strictly he's categorized you as a woman he only wants to sleep with. Like that's the truth. Now, what if you knew that? Then you wouldn't probably make the 2-minute video because you'd be like, oh, I know exactly why guys are doing this. But nobody's telling her because the guy that's doing it's not going to tell her because he doesn't want to risk her finding out his real motive and then saying, hey, I'm not looking for a hookup. See ya, cut him off. He's desperate to like, get her to be in bed with him. So he's like playing his game. And so I'm like, guys, if we just sat down, like, let's start having discussions. Like I'm willing to share all my stuff now. I'll share all the game, the tactics I used to implement. Like I grew up around teammates, guys like these. I'll just throw it all out there because I'm like, I think guys will be pissed and be like, why are you sharing all this? But it's like the honest truth is like, guys, we need this to get out because like we need honesty back. And so like, this is how you get rid of the sides of like all men suck. Well, yeah, all men suck because all the men that woman's dealt with have lied to her and have used her and like have made her feel less than. So like, how do you get rid of that? Through the truth. I've lived a single life and I've been at different parts of that. I've lied by omission. That's another thing guys will do. They don't lie. You just didn't ask.
We need more transparency.
I've done that game. It's like, because you're like, well, I didn't lie to her. She didn't ask. That's on her. And there's all this stuff that goes on. So yeah, there's tactics. Like we just got to dissect them with some honesty.
People are full of surprises, especially when you travel together. Thankfully, Vrbo is not. When you book a Vrbo, you get Vrbo Care and 24/7 live support. So your house doesn't surprise you like your friends might. If something's not as described or doesn't work, Vrbo's there. Real people, real support, anytime. Book today on the Vrbo app. If you know, you Vrbo. Terms apply. See vrbo.com/trust for details.
With Uber's new women preferences, women riders can request a woman driver whenever they want. Like Amy, who's traveling solo in a city she's never been to before. Or Danielle, who works night shifts at the hospital. Or Kelly and Jana, who were way overdue for a night out. Because sometimes comfort comes from having another woman with you. Request women drivers with women preferences on Uber. Learn more on the Uber app.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate you being your authentic self today. And I guess if people want to hear more about your story, where can they find you?
On my social media, Instagram, it's my first and last name, ClaytonEchard. I funnel everything through my Instagram.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for today. And I can't wait to have you back.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So that's a wrap on my conversation with Clayton Echard, both parts. And, honestly, as you heard, we could have kept going. We could have talked all about the tactics that people do in dating and how it's constantly evolving. But there's also something really disarming about talking to someone who isn't trying to present a finished version of themselves. And I think the conversation was just figuring out everything that was happening in real time and just being very authentic. Here are a few things I'm taking from it, and maybe you will too. Okay, first is the validation piece. The way he talked about how validation quietly ran his life, his choices, his relationships, and how he showed up, and how he's only now starting to untangle that. I think that hit home for me, and I think it might hit home for a lot of you as well. Because if we are being honest, a lot of modern dating is validation seeking, dressed up as connection. The apps, the situationships, the staying longer than we should. It's not always love. Sometimes it's just wanting to feel chosen. Second, how he thinks about a partner. We touched on this concept of having a checklist, not having a checklist, and not having that perfectly curated type. And he's kind of looking for someone who is as committed to growing as he is. And I do love that framing, because it shifts the whole mindset. You're not looking for perfect. You're looking for alignment. You're looking for someone real, someone rare, and someone moving in that same direction. And third, this idea of radical honesty, that hiding parts of yourself is actually a weakness, and that the closer you live to the truth, the better your relationships and your life will become. And I kept thinking, what would dating actually look like if people operated like that? probably a lot less confusing. And one thing I will add, just from my own perspective, again, to reiterate my point in the beginning about women being intuitive, and he's right, we are, right? Like, we can usually tell when someone is just trying to convince you something so they can get something out of it. But I think what I take away from this, and as you continue to interact with people, is seeing if people have that level of self-acceptance and are able to demonstrate and talk about the things that they've been through and not acting in that victim mindset, but also like something that they've learned and grown from. And then how are they applying it into their day-to-day life? What I also really, really respected is the way he talked about having women in his life, without it being about dating or attraction or what he can get out of it, but just genuine friendships. And one thing I will say is I think a lot of men today don't actually know how to see women as full people unless they've built relationships like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Feel free to share it with a friend. Leave, a comment if you liked it. Send me a DM. And again, thank you so much for listening. Lovely is an Emma Grantley media production, produced by Sadia Khan and Shay Yu, written by me, Mehak. Theme music, sound design, and editing by Lou Raskin. Additional music by Epidemic Sound. And I'll see you next week for more Lovely.